going to the desk. So we live. And then I guess we'll get to the desk when it get cold. I gotta see if I left my headphones in my car. So give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds. There they go. I knew I left them. Left them on my desk. Hold on. Hold on. So we're gonna talk about it. I could have went live yesterday, and I just literally didn't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I didn't feel like it was important enough to go live on. Um, he beat Lima being. I was listening to Coach Malachi and Brian Norman Sr. I just feel like Boots, he got to see Brian Norman Jr. regardless. His daddy been talking way too reckless about Boots, and it seemed like a lot of what he's saying. If you really look at it, what he's saying about Boots, they giving validity due to the way he moving. So he beat Lima Bean. I did a little bit of film on Lima Bean, and y'all should see Yard and the Benavidez film breakdown real soon on the Patreon. So y'all join the Patreon. Um, a couple videos on the health side of the Patreon. I might talk about the LSU player on the Patreon. I don't know if I want to get into that, but we'll start kind of. Maybe we might talk about grapeseed, L-citron, something like that, blood flow, and eventually we get into the super stack for y'all guys that um, want to increase sexual function, and then we'll get into probably next week a little bit more about testosterone, things that you can do to boost your testosterone um, without getting TRT. Because once you start with T boosters and TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, there's no going backwards. Like with T boosters, you can survive them. You can survive. You can come back from T boosters, but it's hard. Like it's a lot of work involved with bringing your T levels up after losing a booster to bringing them up naturally. So it's tough. So I would advise against T boosters and testosterone therapy. Like that's a that's a last resort. So there's things, like I said, I'm talking about this on the Patreon. There's lifestyle changes you can make um, that we're gonna talk about on here. That I've all tried them, so I'm not gonna tell you anything that I haven't tried. Um, but yeah, I've tried them. So yeah, I know a lot of y'all people don't want to say it out loud, but the first thing I start off with is I don't know why black women gotta be so loud. I hear this bitch from around the corner. Um, but the first thing you wanna give me one second. Come on. You peeing or you moving? Peeing? Come on. Took too long. But oh, but the first thing that you want to do, and I said it in the first testosterone video I did, you want to get your body in some type of shape. That's first and foremost. So I'm trying to get away from this bitch. I'm trying to stay away from Keisha and Becky. But first thing you want to do is get in some type of shape. Get your, I always say do some type of cardio, do some type of jogging, resistance training to get that blood to the muscle. So that's my number one thing, y'all. Do that before you do anything. Change your diet. We'll talk about diet and all that stuff too. Things you can eat and how to do it. People think, especially for a lot of you guys under 40, people think like, oh, you gotta eat, chicken breast, or you gotta do. Man, no, you don't. You can still have chicken wings, all that shit. You just can't fry them. You kind of see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, let's get to the video. So hopefully y'all join the Patreon, Goodfella TV. We can talk about Patreon side, get both. We'll be talking about that. But yeah, but you can eat all. I would just. My whole thing is this. I just stay away from the pork. If you want to indulge in the red meat, you can. But yeah. But it all starts like before you take anything that works like Ozempic, you should never take it. Anything that's just gonna have you losing weight, no matter what you eat, no matter what you eat, what your activity level with, that's a surefire way to go to the upper room. Ozempic should only be for people that's going down the obesity path, the death of obesity. And big ass 600-pound people, or people who tried to lose the weight and couldn't lose the weight. It's just the last resort. I know most of you guys that listen to me, you can do it. Especially even if you're 50, 60, you can do it, right? But anything that you're doing to change, as far as, losing weight, being better, higher testosterone levels, better sexual function, anything you're doing around there, it all starts with your diet and your activity level. So don't forget that. Before you take a pill, before you take a supplement, before you swallow a grape leaf, a grape, arugula, it all about your activity and what you put in your body. So say that. But let's carry on. All right. So Boots had a big win. I guess you can call it a big win, right? Now I was listening to Coach Malachi's show today, and he said that the kid only had 6 years of experience as a fighter. Okay, 6 years. Don't have an amateur background either. Also, according to Brian Norman and according to Coach Malachi, I seen Norman on Mill City, and then Norman came back on Coach Malachi's show. Coach said that Lima was actually an opponent for Jaleel Hackett, and he said somebody at Matchroom, probably Eddie, told Jaleel Hackett that Lima does nothing for your career, and then turned around and gave the Lima fight to Jaron Boots Ennis. Okay, so I know Jaleel Hackett had got upset. So, I guess Lima would have been a great fight for him. I'm assuming that he was on the undercard and that he won on the undercard. And like I said before, the signs is there. When you've been watching boxing long enough, like when you start talking about Dan Raphael and, Chris Algieri, like really, you start talking about media members, the only person that really don't give a fuck for real is Paula Malignaggi. Anybody else, honestly, they compromise. Even some of the former fighters that call fights, they really can't say what they want to say. And I don't mean compromise as far as selling their soul all the time, or like Dan Raphael is a compromised individual. I feel like anybody that say Triple G should be in the Hall of Fame, yeah, I would debate anybody on that. I don't like it. Because ain't no way you measure it. And I'm a very open-minded individual. No matter how you measure that box, it's the same dimension. It's not Hall of Fame worthy, right? So, let's continue going on, right? So apparently this Lima guy, I've seen him fight very stiff, not great speed, very stiff, not a lot of bend, not a lot of slickness. Looked built strong, supposed to be a heavy hitter. Boots came out right to him, and clocked him, It like he's about to land with a left hand and Boots to an uppercut. And Boots' uppercut got there before his wide left hand got there and dropped him, and that was it. He got up, boom, 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 dropped again, boom, 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 stopped on the ropes. Put an interim WBA title around his belt, around his waist. I don't understand why he didn't get the IPO off of him. So this is a guy who only has 6 years of experience, from what I was told. Nothing special, but the whole thing was, versus McKinney, he only took the fight on 5 days' notice. So that was his claim to fame. I'm surprised he was a Jaleel Hackett opponent, but he was. Other than that, man, didn't learn much about him. His Ortiz fight on or off, because Oscar seemed to be doing a lot of talking, but Virgil Ortiz and his daddy ain't saying nothing. But if I'm Virgil Ortiz, I just don't understand, why am I not participating in fighting Mazzaliev? Why am I not trying to get a title? What would a Boots fight do for me? We're gonna you know, unified interim titles. Like, come on now. You know, you ask yourself, what does that fight do for me? And it does absolutely nothing for him. So, you know, quite frankly, it's not a fight. It's a good fight for the fans. But how they trying to make it seem it's a Vegas type fight or a Philly type of fight. I mean, it's not a super fight. Neither one of them has done anything. I mean, Boots didn't even pack that arena half full last night or Saturday night. Virgil Ortiz, you know, he don't sell none. So how can two guys, you know, in a division, how's this a super fight? It was cool when they was prospects, but then, you know, we don't have Ortiz saying nothing about why sign my deal or nothing. All we heard was if Ortiz signed his side of the contract, and then look here, we had all these different months to go. When Brian Norman Jr. said he wanted to wait till you beat Jen Psaki, and then he would, you know, get back to Eddie Hearn, they said they was moving up in weight. I'm starting to be under the impression, just like I was with Tank, is that Jaron Ennis can't take a punch. I don't think he can take a punch. I think that's what it is. I don't think Boots got a chin. I think that's why you see him being so vicious in sparring, because he got the headgear and the bigger gloves on. But I don't think Boots can take a punch. That's me. Or something missing in the pot. So I'm not sure if he can take a punch, or because to be 27 years old and you had two belts and you could have fought Mazaliyev. What was the difference between fighting Mazaliyev, you know, let's say in February, and fighting Mazaliyev last night? Nothing. That's the question. What was the difference? Because if you was gonna fight Mazaliyev, like the ticket is gonna be Turkey gonna put the money up, right? What did the Lima fight tell you? Nothing. So if he was gonna fight Mazaliyev, like literally, he took a fight from a prospect. That's like taking mushed up pears from an infant when you got steak on your plate. Why didn't he just fight Mazaliyev, get the belt, and then he would have had some leverage over Virgil Ortiz? They don't believe in Boots. See, y'all get so caught up in believing what Eddie Hearn say and believing what anybody say. It's the old saying, believe what they do, not what they say. And a lot of times with social media, you can't even believe half the shit you seeing with AI. You know, if y'all seen the last Mission Impossible movie, they talked about how serious AI is gonna get. How corrupt AI is gonna get. I don't think it's a lack of confidence. You know, because if you are secure in your skill set, you got confidence. If you lack confidence in boxing, you don't have nothing. So if you can take a punch, if you got speed, if you trust your conditioning, if you trust your endurance, you know, you trust your ability, you got confidence. He doesn't seem like a confident individual. From what I read for Boots, and I don't know nothing personally about him, and this ain't, I don't want to make it personal, right? And I won't. But when I read from him, it just seemed like he was forced to walk the plank. You know what I'm saying? I just think he was forced to be a boxer. I think really he wanted to be a professional gamer, or he wanted to go down another avenue, and he was forced to box. He don't have a hunger in his eye. He don't have a fighter's hunger. You know? You see the same, you know, you kind of see the same thing with a lot of fighters. A lot of young men today, you know, a lot of y'all will win in the dating market, let me say this, if y'all had personality. If you got personality and you halfway decent and you ain't really over obese, I mean, you can win. Most of these guys lack personality. They lack style. They all dress off the mannequin. And he's one of them. He seems like he don't want to fight. You can just tell, like, he's not, like, he be in the gym, and he, you know, in the gym, but it just seemed like his heart not in it. It just seemed like his heart not in it. Like, this ain't really what he want to do. It's kind of was told what to do. But, you know, some of the greatest athletes was told what to do. You know, you really think Tiger Woods really loved golf? I don't think Tiger Woods really loved golf. I think Tiger Woods, just wanted to be like his father. You know, I think he just wanted to be like his daddy. What was was it Andre Agassi? He didn't want to play tennis neither. You know, and look at the difference between Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan didn't have to play basketball, right? Michael Jordan literally loved basketball. This is why he was able to find challenges. He was able to challenge himself. That's why. Because he loved what he do. You could tell today, I look at guys like Tank, I look at guys like Ennis, I don't think they love this shit. Even Shakur Stevenson, I don't really think he love this. You look at Bud get turned on by a challenge. Kind of similar to Goku in Dragon Ball Z. He used to get giddy. You don't see that no more. You see Usyk. When Usyk was looking at Anthony Joshua, when Usyk was looking at Tyson Fury, he seen food. His game, he elevated his game to the next level. He elevated his shit to the next level. You don't see the hunger no more. In American sports, guys ain't hungry no more. Say what you want to say about Tom Brady. Tom Brady was hungry. To play that long in the NFL, he had to be hungry. Junior Seau, to play as long as Junior Seau did, he had to be hungry. Ray Lewis, he had to be hungry. Say what you say about LeBron James. You got to love what you do and be hungry to still be 30 plus years old, getting up playing this. These guys ain't hungry no more, bro. And I say this all the time. How many guys do you hear say they participate in basketball, they participate in football, but they don't, or they participate in boxing, but they don't watch it. They don't watch it. Oh, I really don't watch boxing. What Boo say? I really don't watch boxing. I'm just getting into Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, nigga, you 27 years old. Why the fuck is you just getting into Sugar Ray Leonard? Why your dad ain't been have you studying these type of guys? You kind of catch my drift? They don't love what they do. This is all for money. And when you do something for money, it shows. And when you really got to hit the gas, and it's really time to really show what you made of, and you just doing it for money, you can't hit that accelerator no more, bro. You ready to you gonna give up, you gonna fold. So these guys, they don't love what they do. Say what you want to say about Mayweather. Whatever drove him, he was a perfectionist. Most of these guys, they not. I think Boo's got the work ethic. I think he got the talent, but I don't see the will. I don't see the will. I don't see the hunger in his eyes. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, even when I look at Shakur Stevenson and some of the performances that he had, he don't be hungry. He ain't vicious enough. He ain't hungry enough. When Charlo had his performance against Canelo, wasn't no hunger in there. These niggas ain't willing to die in that bitch. They in there for a check. And when you get these Matayevs or Bakram Mazaliev, Matayevs, when you get these, these Usyks, these, better BF, these European fighters and these Asian fighters that's coming up, they hungry, bro. They hungry. Our athletes ain't hungry no more. You got Noah fucking Backdoria Lyles, who's an amazing athlete, going around on a fucking Rainbow Bouquet tour, dressing like a hoe. He look like a fucking 18-year-old Serena Williams running on track. How can you be hungry looking like a fucking clown, a female clown? They had that viral video of this past year's draft class when they all looked zesty and they wasn't hungry no more. I see it all the time. The basketball parents, the mama is paying the professional trainer, and the kids waking up 4, 5 in the morning and they training. There's no longer, you in the backyard and y'all hooping, y'all playing 21, or y'all playing tools, or your dad training you in the backyard like LeVar did his sons, that's over with. This is why you see Juju Smith-Schuster get the shit beat out his ass last night. And they suspended my nigga for that shit, Brian Branch, when he shouldn't have got suspended, because if Jalen Carter spit on somebody and he don't get suspended, why is he suspended for smack you upside your mouth for a cheap shot? Real spill. Real spill. So smacking somebody on the face mask is a suspendable offense, but not spitting on the motherfucker, huh? And I don't know how many people really older. Y'all remember when Kerry Collins got traded from the Panthers to the Giants? Y'all remember why he got traded? He called somebody the fucking nigger. Y'all forget that? He called somebody a nigger. Did he get suspended for that? No. And anybody that watched that game last night, Sunday Night Football, and Lions and Chiefs, the shit is rigged, bro. The shit is rigged. All this shit is rigged. You can't measure the heart of a man just as in his actions show he ain't got no heart. His actions show he ain't got no heart. Look, he always look when a question is being asked, he ain't even got enough heart to answer it himself. He look at Eddie Hearn. Fuck you looking at Eddie for, nigga? It's your career. I'm the best at what I do. You're not the best at what you do, Playboy. You're not. You're hanging on a trust fund limb. You know, you hanging on the trust. He's not the best at what he do. And that's just the actual fucking fact. All he do is scam. Eddie Hearn is a scam. Damn near every fighter, and now I'm pretty much sure Ben Whitaker is a scam. All he do is he got scam fighters. He's a scammer. You know? I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Hearn had a credit card machine. He's a fucking scammer. You can look at it. You can look at these niggas and tell they ain't hungry or they ain't got no heart. You can look at it. Look how Virgil Ortiz move. Every time his name is associated with a fighter they scared to fight, his daddy get out there and start bitching and complaining and crying. They literally playing boxing not to lose. And when you play not to lose or you play to please everybody, nobody wins. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna win. I'm telling you that right now. So them fighting each other, it's a scam. It's the most scam fight. They should have credit card machines at the fight. Learn how to make a fake credit card with a credit card machine. It's a scam. Boots is a scam. 27 years old, and you took a fight from Jaleel Hackett. What else do you call it? Jaleel Hackett, who just not lost not too long ago. You took a belt away from him. You took a fight away from him. Come on, man. Come on. And then he going around, I'm the best in the division. Like, based on what? You wasn't the best in the last division you came from. You had an email IBF. You beat an email champion, Stay Honest, who lost to Thomas Delorme. I'm going to die on that hill, right? He lost to Thomas Delorme, right? Then he got an email ring belt, because he was neither one of them. The ring belt don't deserve to be on the line for that fight. Both of them is fucking sketchy. So, that's just how I feel about it. Eddie Hearn, he put off one of the best scams since 2000 with Anthony Joshua. Joshua was a whole scam. This is why they ain't go over there and pony down on Deontay Wilder. Had he beat Wilder, he'd be a Hall of Famer. He'd be undisputed. Never fought Tyson Fury, none of that. Say what you want to say about Wilder. He lost to a motherfucker who outweighed him by 50 pounds. If not more. Anthony Joshua lost to a little man. And then he threw a temper tantrum. Then he started bitching and complaining. Let's keep it a bean. All Eddie Hearn do is promote scams. And he's still talking about, yeah, we had offers from some. We had offers. Turkey not fucking with him no more. I think a lot of times he's showing up to them cards, real talk, unannounced. And they just letting them in there. I think a lot of times he's showing up to them cards unannounced. They just let that nigga in. You know, they're like, let's let that nigga in. But you know, but him and Ortiz, I'm interested. Um, I think Boots should win if he can take the punch and his conditioning is good. And 10, 11, 12, I do feel like uh, Boots is more battle tested. I mean, Virgil Ortiz is more battle tested. So, um, so, but other than that, I mean, will Virgil Ortiz take that fight? I mean, I'm pulling for Lubin. I hope Lubin hit him in his side and, you know, get him out of there. If I'm Lubin, I'm going to the body. But yeah, Virgil's not a world beater. We know that. That ain't nothing new. We know he ass, but he more battle tested than Boots. We can say that. Boots scary as fuck. He said I lost respect for him after taking it to Jalil Hackett too. That's crazy. Like, it ain't like, and no disrespect to Jalil Hackett, but it ain't like Jalil Hackett is some hot shot prospect. You know what I'm saying? Like some, I don't even know. It ain't even no good prospects left in boxing. You know, I seen Shakur nephew or whoever the fuck he is. I heard he got the win. Moses and Carmel Moulton. So I really ain't into neither one of them yet. But I just always remember Carmel Moulton from blowing that weight. But yeah, I mean, you act like that's like I can't even know no prospects no more. Sorry, I can't even compare it. Chuck, salute. Boo's gonna Doug Lubin if he win. Boo's, I mean, he a scam. I keep telling you until proven otherwise. He a scam. He a scam. I see the way he moving, and to me it's pretty sad. But maybe it's with a plan. I mean, remember, Roy Jones' daddy had him moving kind of funny. Roy Jones' daddy had him moving kind of funny. Now he want to cough and all this shit. Come on, man. Yeah, Roy daddy had him moving funny. Roy had to fire his daddy. But, I mean, what Jalil Hackett opponent? Lima was his opponent. He stole Lima from, Jaron stole Lima for Jalil Hackett. He gonna pick the shittiest champion. Well, they can't. They can't pick Xander Zayas. Or Top Rank still ain't got no network, so Xander Zayas might not have no other choice. Top Rank gonna be streaming their fights off Bob Arum my phone in a minute. Is the Boots is the Black Virgin Magia minus the skill set. He's the new can man. Any tomato can get it. Y'all seen Floyd trying to get on that 19-year-old? And her boyfriend told her, you should have did it. These niggas don't. Hey, bro, it's so funny how women don't understand the game, bro. But that was funny. It'll be funny what a lot of women be saying. Well, they try to use a shaming tactic. What is a 19-year-old woman doing with a 47-year-old man? Bitch, you was that 19-year-old woman with a 47-year-old man. Never forget it. I'll never forget it. At the high school, all them bitches that did that shit burnt. They burnt out. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. I don't care. Because one thing about women, they going to do what they want to do. So don't forget it. So, hey, Floyd clapping their cheek, that's what they do when they young. they go to the highest bidder. That's a fact. So when I be hearing men talking about, oh, I can't see no 30-year-old with no 20 or 18. Man, mind your fucking business, nigga. Like, niggas be killing me. You don't even have an option. Like, niggas don't even have an option to put their dick in shit and be having to comment. That's when I hear people talk about like relationships or, oh, I'll never do that. And I'm like, yeah, boy, you ain't never had no bitch for real. That's why I be hearing niggas like saying that you don't even have an option, nigga. And then these bitches want to stream everything and record everything. You know, oh, look. And bitch, so what? You call yourself turning down Floyd, and your boyfriend said, or the nigga that probably was pimping you, probably said you should have went. Like, bro, we all know these bitches for everybody. It's very rare, and in your Bible, if you read, it ain't many good bitches. Most bitches in the Bible are bad. And you want to know what's the telltale sign of a terrible bitch before I finish on Fundora and Thurman? One of the telltale signs of a terrible woman is she loyal to a terrible nigga. Let the church say amen. Real talk. That's a sign of a terrible woman. She all this loyalty to terrible niggas. Real talk. But yeah, you got Thurman and Pacquiao. I mean Thurman and Fundora. It was a move to Pacquiao and Rolly in January. I forget the exact date. So that just tell us. And the rumor is Shockey Foster and Fulton gonna be on the Roach and put bull card December 6th with Janet Bake and Lara. I don't really care for the card regardless. I care for Shock and Fulton, so I want to see that. So they'll be doing a quick turnaround from their fight, so it ain't too long. But that just confirms that Keith Thurman and Fundora wasn't selling. Fundora don't sell. So it never really made sense to me why Fundora never capitalized on fighting somebody like Terrence Crawford. It just never made no sense to me. Errol Spence wasn't a bigger fight, especially when you had Turkey involved in it. Errol Spence was a fight that was never meant to happen. So that was a plan. That was a ploy for them to duck Terrence Crawford without getting the ridicule. He lied about his nose. They knew Errol Spence was still allegedly owed money from Al that I heard to this day he allegedly still ain't got. So they knew Errol Spence fight wasn't going on. My thing is, what are they saving Fundora for? He can't sell fights in Texas. He can't sell fights in Vegas. He just was the undercard of Pacquiao and Barrios. He can't sell nowhere. Can't sell at home with Coachella. Rumor is he got knocked out by Background Mazaliev in camp for Erickson Lubin. Knocked out cold in that camp. So that's why you wonder why he won't fight Mazaliev, who they kept buried on PBC non-televised cards. So now it's probably starting to make sense, but a lot of y'all now connecting the dots. My thing is, one of the things I had a problem with PBC is they protected shitty assets. Say, okay, if you want to protect Gervonta Davis because he's an asset, at some point, no matter if you too safe with an asset, it's gonna come back and burn you regardless. You know, if you get to put the bare minimum in Bitcoin and you turn 100 to 1,000, I don't know much, I'm just talking shit. But as you consistently put money in it, they could have been 100,000 or $250,000, $1 million. You burnt yourself by playing it too safe. So regardless, at some point, they protected their assets, bro. They overprotected they treated every aspect like it was a VVS diamond. They treated every aspect like, you know, it was a multi-million-dollar property. When a lot of these niggas was a trap house in Philadelphia. You know, a lot of these niggas, you know, wasn't even worth more than the Speedway gas station. And I don't mean the Speedway, I mean the Speedway bathroom. I just mean the bathroom. So, to be honest with you, they protected every fighter like they was a very valuable asset. And they wasn't. You know, they protected all these guys like they was very valuable assets. And they just wasn't valuable assets. He said, why the Mexicans don't fight for Fundora? Because he mulatto. Same thing with David Benavidez. He mulatto. I think Fundora is half Mexican, half Cuban. They don't play that mulatto shit. Only in the black community. Only in the black community do does the mulatto people, do people think mulatto is cute because they got good hair or they got fair skins. Other communities don't play that shit. You're straight up here, you're straight up here, they parents straight up deny a child. The only people that really accept mixed children, especially at a high rate, bro, is probably white people. Especially, look, they don't even accept them at a high rate, especially the father is around. When the father is in the family, I guarantee you, the non-black family or the non-dominant family, they don't fuck with them. They do not fuck with them. When that father's around, hell no. Now, you got some cases, but I have heard stories where the Indian mother like really tripped, and the father don't trip, but that's few far in between, bro. A lot of times, that man around the house, even in that case, it could have been a man. They don't claim them. They will throw the whole grandbaby away. In the Arab communities, and the ones that still, traditional, dog, they ostracize the woman out the family. They kick her out the family. So, I've never dealt with them, but I've known men that dealt with Arab women. And a lot of them, whether it was white or black, a lot of them just give head service. They won't allow the women, they won't allow the man to penetrate them. Yep, they won't allow the man to penetrate them. So a lot of them will just mop you up, and they'll lay with you, play with your shit, mop you up, and that's that. If you go into their countries, and where they from, when you penetrate them, if they don't have blood, they can go to that upper room. Yeah, they can go to that upper room. So I seen a documentary some years ago where, they had these programs where they stitch their hymens back. So when their husbands crack them for the first time, they'll bleed. So yeah, that's why it's always good to watch documentaries, read books, and retain information, bro. Yeah, so when you start talking about mulattoes in other communities, especially, the only ones that's really accepted is white. That's the one that they accept. Once you start researching colorism, and, in other communities, especially, you go to Africa, you see what's happening in Jamaica where the Asians they own a large, I think they own up to 60% of Jamaica. I forget what exact Asians, or is it just, overall, but Asia owns like 60 or 70% of Jamaica right now. You know what I'm saying? So when I be telling y'all about raccoon, like, we look at it as a surface level thing as far as what somebody say on the internet or who they have on their arm. We don't really get into the indoctrination of actual colorism, or coonism in the community, because once you kind of look at it, and I'm gonna talk about this on the Free Game 89 Patreon or something like that. Once you look at real coonism, you know what I'm saying? And America, think about this: how much you set your family back if a woman have a baby with with a degenerate, with a criminal, with a felon, a man that say he not gonna be there for the baby, and you set your son back, or your daughter back? What's a bigger act of coonism than that? What's a bigger act of coonism if you walk away from a hard-working man that provide for your family and that do right by your son, but you walk away because you want to fuck somebody else? Come on now. How much more coonism is that we get our money together to bail out man, right? But when it come to our son going to college, we ain't got or our daughter going to college, we ain't got nothing for them. See, a lot of people just talk coonism on a very surface level, but we talking this shit on the root of the problem. And when you go to these other communities, they teach if you are gonna date outside of a lot of African communities, a lot of Asian communities, you know, I can't speak for the Eskimo tribe. A lot of Indian communities, they basically say, look here, if we give you a pass to date out, it's with the white. It's with white. It's with white. See, I know a lot of y'all probably wondering before I finish on Thurman and Fundora, y'all can ask some questions. Y'all probably wondering like, oh man, I was about to say something, I lost my train of thought. But y'all probably wondering like, probably why that is. A lot of them just, want the hair and all that type of stuff, and they want the mixed babies and that. And what's so funny about it, Brad was doing Passport Bros, and Becky been doing Passport Bros. All that's been going on. But when you start to really look at it, a lot of them Brads was going over to these countries, and they was giving these women shit they couldn't get rid of, if you catch my drift. And they still worship them. They was telling them, man, like, oh, get with him, and we just been conditioned that white is better. I talked about that with the Dominican grandma video, when the Dominican grandma wouldn't allow the young granddaughter, to play with a black baby doll. She wanted to play with the white baby doll. I did another short on the Asian woman. She did a podcast, and I don't understand why people want to monetize pain and suffering. So this Asian lady did a podcast with her mother. I did a short. And she confronted her mother about saying she was ugly because she was dark and had big lips, right? And the mother was like, she was telling her mother, that's actually sexy in America. That she was telling the mother. She was like, that's a good thing in America. And she was like, nah, you still ugly. So, like I said before, what be funny is when they tell the brothers, oh, who hurt you? And you must hate your mother for certain things that you do, obviously, for dating out. When they say things like that, it's really a projection, bro. I'm gonna tell you this, dude, and y'all may not believe this, and y'all may disagree with this. Let me tell you this first and foremost. The average black mother is quick to tell their daughter she's ugly before she tells the son he's ugly. That's a fact. Let me say that real quick. They will sit there and try to kill their daughters. A lot of the shit, and these women ain't gonna never say this. Little boys ain't going around telling girls at a higher rate than what I'm about to say. Oh, you dark and ugly. No. What's happening is a lot of times these women get these colorist views from their mother, from their grandmother. They get them colorist views from them, bruh. So when they sit there and they be like, well, black man called me ugly. No, bitch. It was your mother. It was your mother. It was your fucking mother who did that. And they love to throw those jackets on us. It was your mother who called you ugly. It was your mother who called you nappy-headed. It was your mother who makes fun of your skin color. Come on, man. It was your mother. That's why I be trying, man. They want to blame us for everything. Instead of being honest about their pain. And that's why therapy don't help women, because it's not just a lack of accountability. They have a lack of honesty. There's a lack of honesty there with them. They really lacking in the honesty. So when you ask that question, why don't Fundora get the support? Why didn't David Bennett? They mulatto. They don't play that shit. Once you go to them, they hiding the dark skinned people in the community, man. I've been like researching this shit when I was going to just researching and looking around in the Indian community. They don't like the dark skinned Indians. I mean the ones from overseas, from India. The darker you are, the more no, you ain't this. The more melanated features that they show, they don't fuck with it, bro. So that's why Fundora don't get supported. He mulatto. Hey, roll it back one. Go to Roberto Duran. They don't claim Roberto Duran either. Panama claims Roberto Duran. That's too much nigga like for them. Panama claim Roberto Duran. Mexico don't. Roberto Duran is a top 5 fighter of all time, depending on who you ask. And think about that. He quit. He quit. And he's still considered one of the top 5 fighters of all time. He said, hey, look here, man. I don't care about you Boots, nigga. We've been talking about Boots. I don't care shit about Boots. These niggas from Philly always want to be in the comment section. Man, come tell me when he beat somebody. I don't care nothing about no Boots right now. I said what I said about Boots. I don't care nothing about no fucking Boots. If he succeed, he succeed. I'm happy for the brother. If he don't, he don't. I don't care about no Boots, dog. He should be paying me to talk about that lackluster ass fight. He should be cash apping me. What up, underrated darling? Salute. He should be cash apping me to talk about that bullshit. They, oh man, you hate. I don't give a fuck to hate on Boots. To be honest, I want to see him be successful. I don't like pump fakers. He's a pump faker. Nigga's a pump faker. He's a real good kid. Shout out to Kobe. He's a real good kid. He's a real good kid. Never crushed a Lego in his life. He's a real good kid. He's a real good kid. Ain't never been in the dean's office. Ain't never been in the principal's office. Ain't never scraped his knee. He's a real good good kid. Malachi, salute. But yeah, that's why they don't support. Y'all ain't never noticed them. Them mulatto Hispanic fighters, they do not fuck with them. What's the greatest dark-skinned Hispanic fighter you could think of? Tito Trinidad. He probably go around saying that he he European Puerto Rican. I bet you. I bet you go around. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Euro Puerto Rican. Man, they don't be claiming them like that, bruh. What's the brother that come from I don't even think that Miguel Cotto thing. Man, Miguel Cotto probably claimed European. Hey, what's old buddy name? The kid from Puerto Rico, the dark skin, Sabril Matias. Man, they don't fuck with him. Okay, he said he was black. I believe you. They don't fuck with him. He said Trinidad said he was black. I believe you. They don't mess with Sabril Matias like that, bro. They don't fuck with that dude like that, bro. Real talk. So especially when you talk about in that Mexico area down to the South America, man, fuck with them niggas like that, bro. At all. At all. So if you mix, yeah, man. I mean, Benavidez don't get the love that people think he should get. Especially when they told Benavidez that he should, you need to go fight Crawford for Canelo. And he said, no, I ain't doing that. They really was like, we don't have no use for you. We don't have no use for you, homeboy. None. So, it is what it is. But that's the reason why. That's the only reason why. In the Mexican community, I don't know what they feel. I don't know what they feel about them mixed being white. So I don't know. But Canelo obviously mixed with some Irish or something. That we know. That we know. Shout out to David for not taking the race bait. And he didn't. Who's your favorite fighter? Shakur, Tevin, and Devin? I don't fuck with them two other niggas, man, at all. I do not fuck with them niggas. I do not fuck with them other two. If them niggas end up missing tomorrow, nigga, I'll throw a fucking block party. Some dude made a video telling Tank to come out. I was watching Bruce Vane channel. Some dude said, "Tank, come out the closet, Tank." I think he identified as part of the alphabet community too. So y'all can't say he was being homophobic neither. I want to say that's what I heard he said. You know, yeah, real talk. I ain't bullshitting. I swear for God and two white men. Man, dude, I ain't bullshitting. Go to Bruce MF Vane channel. Some dude, man, he said, you know, I swear he said he was from the alphabet community. He said that. He said he was from the alphabet community. And he said that he wanted to wait to make the video until he was sure that, you know, Tank Davis was a blade. He made a video saying it's time for Tank to come out. Man, dude, yeah. Tank blew his cover making zesty comments. So on this dude's channel, he goes over the comment that Tank made. I was busy at work, so I couldn't listen to it. His name is Say So TV. One word. So Javante goes viral for saying all men are DL. So apparently somewhere online, Tank Davis said that, I'm pretty sure it was Instagram, all men are DL. It's only a 4-minute, 19-minute video. Remember Oscar De La Hoya said every man put on a dress drag before, put on a pair of heels. He did this up, man, dude. Hey, man, you gonna make me play the video. I don't know, man. My speakers failed, man. I gotta fix my desk. Hold on, my speakers failed. My iPhone all the way over there. I don't feel like grabbing it. But yeah, hold on. Now, that's what he said. And I want to say he said he was part of that community too, so they can't hit you with that slander. So he did this video like 2 weeks ago. Whatever reason, my headphone pop-up ain't coming up. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. I can't play it. Hold on. But this is what it looked like. So I don't know why the pop-up ain't coming up. It is time for me to get a new computer for sure. I got the most out the less of this. See, I can't even hit that. I want to say it's hooked up to my headphones now, so I don't know what be going on. So whatever, it won't even let me. But yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. He said Javante Davis goes viral for saying all men are DL. Yeah. That's what he said. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, is anybody shocked? So, I mean, hey, shout out. I mean, hey, man, shout out to him. That's one. Yeah, I mean, did y'all need that to confirm it? We already knew it. We already knew it. We already knew it. I'm looking at dude channel. Why he talking about niggas being? I just told you. I think he's part of that community, bro. So I don't know nothing else about his channel. But I think when I was listening to Bruce Vane video, he identifies as one of them. Yeah, he is one of them. That's what his channel based off of. Now I'm look. I fucking warned. I thought that's what I heard. He's exposing DL men on his channel. Like, hey, that's what he part of. Hey, you know, that's what he do. He said, I repeat, he said, from what I heard on the video, is that he said that He thought that Tank was on the DL, but he wanted to wait till he had more evidence. And I guess when he made this comment, this gave him more evidence. Hey man, hey, look here. I ain't make the video. I didn't make the reaction video. Bruce Vane did. It don't surprise me. What's so funny is when Bruce was making video, oh, you know, I don't got no problem. Niggas always got to put that caveat. Oh, man, like niggas off, man, the Alphabet Gang got niggas scared. Y'all be talking about the boys in blue, bad boys. Man, Alphabet Gang be having you niggas scared to speak our mind. And then, you know, they got the Keishas that be with them too. The Keishas, man, they can't stand straight black men. Oh, man. Black women, man, majority of black women hate straight black men. But boy, they'll squabble up for Tank Keisha. They'll squabble up for Backdoria. They'll squabble up for the switch hitters. Tell me I'm lying. They go to war for the switch hitters, man. They hate straight black men, bro. They hate us. But hey, if that's what he do, it's not surprising, bro. He gets in the video talking about how Tank put his hands on women and all the signs was there. And hey, look here, hey, you know, shout out to, I mean, whatever they doing over there. But yeah, I mean, are we surprised? This nigga was twerking in his fucking underwear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't surprise me none, bro. Gangsters been gay. This ain't nothing new. Judge Joe Brown was talking about that the other day. He said, I'm gonna block his channel. Hey, shout out to you, man. Block his channel. It ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, if he exposing guys, he exposing them. Shit, some people might want to know. I think he doing a public service. Real talk. I think he doing a public service. You know, and what's so funny is, you know, a lot of these dudes that be on the DL and shit, women be, that's why I don't have no sympathy for them. Women be knowing, the majority of women be knowing they be gay, bro. Women are attracted to gay guys. I keep telling y'all, I know y'all don't be wanting to believe what I be saying, bro. Like, do this experiment for me. All right? Go have sex with a girl. And this is gonna sound wild. Don't wash up after you go. Don't wash up after you have sex and go work out. Don't be stunk. You shouldn't have sex with no stank bitch. And just go move around or go do something. Go move around. I guarantee you get bitches, dog. Bitches can smell other bitches on you, bro. Like even if they don't knowingly smell, they just it's primitive. They just hit the scent. You get more bitches that way. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I promise you. So women be knowing them dudes be DL, bro. I'm telling y'all, women. That's why they love jailbirds so much. I be telling y'all this all the time. This is why they love jailbirds so much, bro. This is why they love jailbirds, bro. These women be doing these outrageous acts with men. I've seen them get exposed on social media. They be doing these outrageous acts with men. And then when they get mad, typical of any women, they go on social media to air them out. So I did the video on Doja Cat. Did y'all see the video I did on Doja Cat? And her song, I ain't even going. Just go check out the video, bro. I bet, and this is so funny where women that sit there and know women just like this and act like it's not happening. And then they default setting is to blame men. They know what they like. Why they think they like the guys that run in and out of prison, bro? It's the femininity in them, bro. They're emotionally unstable. They both like to get penetrated. Women ultimately, especially black women in our community, they want a metrosexual. They want a Uzi Vert. You know, if they can get close to as a bisexual guy, but him not being bisexual, they get that. But they take a bisexual guy. What's the dude that used to be with Saucy Santana? His girl took him back and he knocked the old girl up. Now they going around talking about whatever. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's just that y'all didn't know about it, bro. I been knew about it. Y'all think, you know, these women be walking around with these bisexual homies. I know for a fact women get drunk and bump coochies. That's a fact. So if you throw a gay man in there, you know what I'm saying? You think they not sleeping with them? That's what I told y'all. The number one spreader of diseases in the diseases is them. It's black women, bro. If they got more, check this out, bro. This is facts. Out of the ethnic group that has more children, more than what, 3 children by multiple baby daddies is black women. What do that tell you, bro? They reckless with the wop. No, 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 no. That is not the same thing like men liking lesbians. No, it's not the same. That is not the same. That is absolutely not the same. That is, you cannot compare a man in a threesome with that is not the same. It's not the same. Because you don't have the risk, the higher risk of the 3-letter word that can send you to the upper room. That is a totally different thing. A lesbian is going to identify as a lesbian. It's not covert. We all know it. So a lesbian is going to identify as a lesbian. We talking about women secretly sleeping with gay guys, but then and blaming men and acting like they didn't know they was gay. That's not the same thing. And women like threesomes too. Believe it or not, women request trains. I've seen it in high school. I pass bitches around. I mean, women enjoy that type of stuff. But once again, remember AJ Johnson from Baby Boy from House Party? She came out and said she felt empowered. That's what they feel. Y'all ain't never passed y'all nigga a bitch. Even I done passed my nigga chicks when I was younger that I ain't even had sex with. I didn't even want to air. You can have her. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? That's just the game, bro. But you can't compare that, bro, because the risk is outright. A lesbian is gonna tell you she a lesbian, unless she taking you serious, and she don't really want to tell you, because that's different. That's different because the risk ain't the mental health risk is crazy, but the risk is different. The risk is so different in that, as far as your life and death risk and all that stuff. Women like threesomes too. But he said you'd be surprised how many women tell me the main porn they watch is gay. That's crazy. I never heard that one, but I would not surprise. That mean, that mean you easy to talk to get that. I ain't never got that one out of them. I didn't got to quite some shit out of women, but you probably right. They number one fantasy is to get the cookies took from them. Go look it up. The number one fantasy of most American women is to get snatched up, and if you catch my drift, to take the cookies out the cookie jar. It's a fact. And I'm pretty sure up there with what Chuck said, that's up there as far as they porn taste. See, when you start kind of talking about porn and how wicked men taste can be, you know what I'm saying? This nigga stupid. He said, bro, be my nigga Chuck ain't like that. Shout out my nigga Chuck. I bet Chuck at LA Fitness. Did they shut down the LA Fitness, Chuck? Because everybody came to Edge. I don't go there like that no more though. Cause I know they shut down the LA Fitness in Southfield. Yeah, that shit wasn't hitting on shit. But that Planet Fitness and that Edge put that one in Southfield out of commission. But what we saying? But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what's so funny is I was talking to a guy about 2 weeks ago, and he said he was on the Caucasian side. He said his girl made him put a screen mask on and act like he was breaking into the house and clap cheeks, and he above 50. And what's so funny, we was talking about having that conversation at work. He was like, well, you're right. My girlfriend made me do whoop-de whoop 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 whoop. I'm like, damn, I think that the one in Southfield closed, bro. For sure. I drove past. I don't live that way no more, but that shit closed. The one on Middlebelt, I don't know. One of them thick ass trainers that you train there. She work at Ed. She been there for a couple of years now though. She like, you in the train? No, I don't pay for personal trainers. But she was thinking motherfucker though. But yeah, he said, yeah, my ex's aunt told us the same thing, CJ. And she said I enjoy it even though I didn't know it was him. You mean I did know it was him? Told you, bro. Like, this is evil, bro. The Bible, man. I really got to get into this Bible, man. The more I get into the Bible, bro, I'm going to start the Bible content. I might do an app. I might do church on Sunday, bro, or do an awkward day. I don't want the preachers ganging up on me trying to jump me and shit. But just to be real, bro. Like when I heard that, bro, I heard that from Coach Greg Adams, bro. He had statistical facts to back it up. I said, damn. And I had to really start thinking, like when you have like intercourse with women, bro, they just lie about everything. Like they lie about everything. I did a video on the Patreon about what Kevin Gates said. You know what I'm saying? I did a video about what Kevin Gates said. If y'all know what he said, go get the Patreon on the free game 89 tier. You can get both of them though. And what he said, and that's true, bro. And women will lie and be like, "Well, I like it soft." And no, no, no. Women like to be like manhandled, bro. Even if they say they don't, women like to be manhandled, and that's just the sad, honest truth, bro. Like that's crazy, bro. She said, and I quote, "It was so fucking hot." And that's what it is, bro. As a man in America, I see why guys go overseas. As a man in America, it's just too much, bro. You know how hard it is to work, have a side hustle or have your side thing going, and then, juggle a woman, and then maybe possibly you might have a mother, you might have kids, and man, that shit is impossible. Then you still expected to perform in the bedroom, and then you still expected to little free time you got. You still expecting to spend you. I see why niggas go to an early grave. I see why they expect you to perform, and then they don't perform nowhere up to your standards. But I don't blame men for staying single, bro. Like if you got it like that, bro, where you can have a rotation, or you can meet a little chick, or you gonna trick off on her, which I don't advocate for. If you got it like that, you got it like that. He said, but they don't like when the Saudis be dedicating on. They like it enough to go get paid. So that's what I be telling y'all, bro. Like that's why when women look at nice guys, they really look at you from especially black women. They look at you from a bedroom point of view. You know what I'm saying? Like they deal with bums because it's a control, but also the bums got time to lay pipe all day. That's it. That's just the honest truth, bro. Like when you like the fact of it is when you a productive black man in America, you on the rise and you like the chances is like your match is probably a non-black woman. Like it's not that many black women that want to sign up for that. And if you do find a black woman, you know what's so funny about it? Her friends be like, well, you smarter than I was, and you're smarter than me. And then all of a sudden, if she do get a good man, all them women around her now, they want a good man. And it's crazy, man. Like comparison to women, dog, that's one of the most poisonous things to your relationship is comparison. Women look so much at the internet, live through so much vicariously through the internet. That's what kill you. Think about it. It's those memes where a guy proposed to a woman at a restaurant and the guy looking like his woman looking like, when is my turn? The guy looking like, oh my God, why the fuck did he do that here? That's every day on the internet. When a woman see a girl get a new Audi, when a woman get a new ring or a new bag, now your girl want a new ring or a new bag, or now you ain't good enough. If your girl bring around a nice wholesome guy and all of them got ain't shit niggas, and all of a sudden the bitches around her want a wholesome and good guy, and ultimately they're not gonna tell her they want to fuck the guy that she with. That's it. Most women don't want to put the work in. Most women don't want to put the work. They talk so much about God. Put the prayer. Put the time in church. Put the time into their religion. Put the faith. Try to walk as clean and as clear as the path to God. They don't even want to do that part of the spiritual part. Right? They just want to do it to show up. Come to their doorstep, treat them good, and it don't work that way. It don't work that way. But yeah, man, like once you figure what Kevin Gates said is so true. You gotta punch it, bro. You gotta punch it, dog. The way women like to be handled and be dogged out, like the more you kind of understand it, the more you kind of look at it, the more it becomes you get it. You kind of understand it. Like when you look at women, like this generation of men, I'll give y'all credit. Like y'all standing on business. Y'all see, and y'all got internet to show. Y'all look at women for what they are. You know, y'all look at women for what they are. Like we looked at them as like you know, how can I say it, like delicate, unique, and these delicate flowers that we didn't want to harm, and you know, you treat them nice, you try to be agreeable, you try to be nah, these motherfuckers is gremlins. You gotta treat these hoes like gremlins. You said I be pimping. Oh no, 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 no. I don't be pimping at all. It's just that the more you look at it, the more like you gotta get in the field. You gotta talk to women, not necessarily sleep with them. Talk to them, bro. He said, "Shit, heavy pressure. These chicks don't get it. They don't, bro. Like I said, a lot of niggas, a lot of men, you know, a lot of guys got sick taste in porn. You know what I'm saying? When you start to see old taste get too sick, you got to get up out of there. Fact, all these hoes want the next chick got. Yeah. I done videos on Free Game 89 about it. Shorts about when women say it's y'all think it's about y'all, but it's about the girl y'all with. They whole like women's whole like profile is homosexual. Once you think about a women's profile, it's all homosexual. And this is why I always say guys that want to sleep with uh, women because another guy slept with them. I always say that was feminine energy. That's feminine energy. I've always said that because that's what women do. That's why I told y'all go smack out on the chick. You know what I'm saying? And then go hit some moves. I guarantee you, man, you probably gonna have bitches walking up to you if you have decent. Cause they smell that on you, bro. I ain't talking about they literally can smell you. They just smell the scent of a woman on you, bro. That's what women do. Women don't want to put the work in. This is why you see women be sleeping and stealing niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Which to me, I can never be in that game. If I'm like, even if I'm kicking it with a girl, right? And we just friends, I still, and you know, unless she put me with her sister, I still wouldn't do it. You know, that's just morally me. Even if a chick do some shit to me and try to hit my homeboy, fuck with my homeboy, and behind my back, and we kicking it hard, I'm not gonna go back and play tit for tat and try to fuck her sister. Like I'm not about to go out my way and be vengeful. In my opinion, I'll let God handle it. I'm gonna just live my life. But they do shit like that to get a rise out of you. Hey, you can't get revenge with me with your pussy. You got it. Especially ain't no kids involved. Regardless, I wouldn't care. You got it. But just know that line of mercy and help that you had, that shit gone. And you'll be surprised how many women try to turn their son into simps. You know, oh, you ain't gonna help her, or you ain't, man, you gotta get out of my face. Steph Curry be dogging Aisha, don't be dogging Aisha. He don't. He don't. Sometimes you gotta tell women to shut the F up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like, shut up talking to me. Go sit your ass down. Women don't mind sharing me. They don't. They don't. But they do mind it. Like they don't want everybody else to know they sharing men. That's a fact. They don't want everybody else to know they sharing men. That's a fact. They don't want everybody to know it. You know what I'm saying? They don't. But if they sharing men covert, they cool with it. They cool with it. That's a fact. At this point, brother, I'm not entertaining any of them. I'm locked in on personal. Yeah, it's cool. Sound good until you got the urge. You get the urge to splurge. Everybody going to clap cheeks every once in a while. That's a fact. Everybody wanted some at some point. Especially if it's about to get cold. But I feel you on that. But that's just the nature of the beast, bro. Every once in a while, you come across a good one. But for you her to be a good one, it's predicated on you being him to her. You know? So, you know, it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all. And get up out of here. Peace.